That's working, great.
Yes, that works. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Gayatri Mataji. Okay, so because Sangeeta Mataji, looking forward to the Sanskrit from you, Mataji, and then Jyoti Mataji doing English. Is Jyoti Mataji there?
Yes, I'm here, Prabhuji.
Oh, perfect. Yes, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So let me just share screen with you. Oops, not on the way. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Oh, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances and all Krishna Prabhupada and his assembled devotees. If I do any mistake, please forgive me. I will try to read first time Sanskrit properly. If I can pronounce properly, please forgive me. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Chapter 15, the Yoga of the Supreme Person. Sri Bhagavana Vacha. Uddharva Mula Madaha Shakha Masvatham Prahuravayam Chandasi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Cha Veda Sa Vedavid.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "It is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upwards and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas."
Adashodharva Prasutata Shattasya Shakha Gura Pravuta Vishaya Pravalaha Adashra Mulanya Sunan Tani Karmanu Bandini Manishaloke.
The branches of this tree extend downwards and upwards, nourished by the three modes of material nature. The twigs are the objects of the senses. This tree also has roots going down, and these are bound to the fruitive active actions of human society.
Na rupamasyeha tathopalapyate nanto na chadir na cha sampritishta adat ashwathamenam shuvirudamula asanga sastarena dadena chittava tataha padam tat parai margi tavyam yasmina gatana nivarthanti uyaha tameva chatyam purusham prapadeyataha pravrittiha prasuta purani.
The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is. But with determination one must cut down this strongly rooted tree with the weapon of detachment. Therefore, one must seek that place from which, having gone, one never returns, and these surrender to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything began and from whom everything has extended since time immemorial.
Nirmana mohajita sangadosha adhyatma nitya vinivratta kamaha dandravaira vimuktaha sukha dukkha samdhanira. Sorry, I'm really sorry about that. Sukha dukkha chintamuttaha pradamam vyadam tata. Krishna. Gachanti amaduha padam avyayam tata.
Those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, and who, unbewildered, know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attain to that eternal kingdom.
Na tad bhashite suryo na sansanko na pavakaha yada gatva na nivartante tadadamna tadadhana pramam mama.
That supreme abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world.
Mamaivasho jivaloke jivabhutah sanatana manaha pasthani indrani prakrutistani karshati.
The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind.
Shariram yadava proti yachapya uktava mat svairaha गृहीत्वैतानि शय्याति वायुर्गन्धानि वासर्यात्.
The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with these six senses, which include the mind.
Kshotram chakshuha sparshanam cha rasanam dhranameva cha adhisthaya manaschayam vishayanupasevate.
The living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions of life from one body to another, as the air carries aromas. Thus, he takes one kind of body and again quits it to take another.
Hare Krishna, Jyoti Mataji, I think she's read verse 9. Can you read the English for verse 9 as well?
Yeah, I think we missed verse 8.
That's
So maybe you can just read the verse 8, Sankita Mataji.
I read the Shariram Yadava. I
You
did that.
Yes? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
yes, you did, yes. So it was Jyoti Mataji.
Yeah,
You
she
were
missed.
supposed to read 9, yes, sorry.
Yes, sorry, I'm really sorry. The living entity, thus taking another gross body, obtains a certain type of ear, eye, tongue, nose, and sense of touch, which are grouped about the mind. He thus enjoys a particular set of sense objects.
Uttakramanantam sthitam papi bhujanam vaguranipatam vibhujananu pashyanti gnanachakshusa.
The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body, nor can they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of the modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all this.
Yatanto yoginaschenam pashyanti atmani avasthitam yatanto pya akartmanano nainam pashyanta achyatra.
The endeavoring transcendentalists who are situated in self-realization can see all this clearly, but those whose minds are not developed and who are not situated in self-realization cannot see what is taking place, though they may try to.
Yada dityagatam tejo jagad bhashyate khilam yachandramasi yachapro tat tejo vidimamakam.
The splendor of the sun, which dissipates the darkness of this whole world, comes from me, and the splendor of the moon and the splendor of fire are also from me.
Gama vishya chabhutani dharayamyaha mujisha pushnami choshati sarva surmo bhutva rasatmakaha.
I enter into each planet, and by my energy, they stay in orbit. I become the moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables.
Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehanam Ashita Pranapana Samayukta Prachamyanam Chaturvidam.
I am the fire of demigods in the bodies of all living entities, and I join with the air of life, outgoing and incoming, to digest the 4 kinds of foodstuffs.
Sarvasya chaham rati sannivashto matah Sruti sorry, 1 second again. Sarvasya chaham riti sannivashto matah smari dhyanam apohamanam mohanam cha vaiteshwar swarai hameva vedyo vedanta krude devi Devachaham.
I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas.
Deva Imam Purusho Loke Ksharakshara Devacha Ksharaha Sarvani Bhutani Katustokshara Uchate.
There are 2 classes of beings, the fallible and the infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible, and in the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible.
Uttamaha Purushatva Anyeha Paramatme Uttaratah Trayam Avaishya Vivahare Avayaya Ishvara Vivathyargaha Ishvara.
Besides these 2, there is the greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul, the imperishable Lord Himself, who has entered the 3 worlds and is maintaining them.
Yasmaksharam Atitoham Aksharat Api Khochitam Chodtamha Ato Samiloke Vedecha Pratpathitaha Purushottamaha.
Because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that Supreme Person. Hare Krishna.
Yo mama evam asmiddo janati purushottamam sa sarva vidyajati mam sarva bhavena bharata.
Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata.
Iti grihatamam shastram idam yuktam mamangala mayanadaha etada vrittava buddhimana syatkritutasya bharata.
This is the most confidential part of the Vedic scriptures, O sinless one, and it is disclosed now by me. Whoever understands this will become wise, and his endeavor will know perfection. Hare Krishna.
This end of the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 15th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and the matters of Purushottam Yoga, the Yoga of the Supreme Person. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna.
I'm sorry, I was not too good. I tried, but I was so bad. I'm really sorry.
This was
And I'm sorry, I made few mistakes as well. I'm really sorry.
No, absolutely, you both were fine. And Sangeeta Mataji, this was the first attempt, right, for you?
Yeah, like.
So this was a very nice, as you were going along, you were getting better and better. So it's a question of just practice. So So don't give up. Just have another go soon, and I'm sure you will get practice.
I did practice and I still don't manage. I'm so ashamed, really.
No. You did quite well. The pronunciation generally were all fine. You just if you work a little bit on the meter, then it must get much better. But thank you. So nice, really nice for the first.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, devotees. So let me just share the PowerPoint now. Okay, so we're continuing our reading of the 15th chapter, the beautiful 15th chapter. We'll just go to the summary as we normally do. Purushottam Yoga, Yoga of the Supreme Person. Text 1 to 5, detachment from the material world. 6 to 11, transmigration. Then 12 to 15, the maintainer of the body, mind, and soul. And then we're in the current section, which is the 3-sloki Gita. These 3 slokas, 16, 17, and 18, are the most important, well, some of the most important verses in the Bhagavad Gita. We have the Chatur-shloki Gita in the 10th canto, and then now we have the 3-sloki Gita here. So it is said that if we are able to understand these 3 verses and realize them, to read and understand is one thing, but to realize them, as they say, knowledge, just book knowledge is knowledge, but realized knowledge is called Vigyan. So if you get realized knowledge of these 3 verses, then they say that it's as good as understanding the whole Bhagavad Gita. It speaks about the different kind of living entities, speaks about the Lord himself, and then declares the Lord as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, if we can completely have faith in that and completely believe it, then our devotional service is successful. As simple as that. So, Vrindavan Chandra did the text 16 over the last 2 days. We will now go on to 17. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, text 17. Uttama Purushastvanya Paramatmetyud Udarita Yo Lokatrayam Avishya Vibhartyabhya Ishvara. Besides these 2, there is the greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul, the imperishable Lord, who has entered the 3 worlds and is maintaining them. So this verse starts with, besides these 2, Parasas Anya. So can anybody tell me what is Krishna talking about here? Which 2?
The fallible and the infallible living entities.
Excellent, Rajshri Mataji, that's very good, excellent. So you remember the class from yesterday or the day before? Yes, the fallible, these are the 2 kinds of personalities that Krishna has described so far. Fallible, which is all of us who are in the material world, and infallible are the ones who have successfully either just remained in the spiritual world or made their way back. So those are infallible. The verse is fairly straightforward. We'll touch upon some of the words in a minute on the verse as well. But we'll go on to the purport. So let's see. Rashmi Mataji, you're already unmuted, so you can maybe just read that, please.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. The idea of this verse is very nicely expressed in the Katha Upanishad 2.2.13 and the Switeshwar Vitara Upanishad 6.13. It is clearly stated there that above the innumerable living entities, some of whom are conditioned and some of whom are liberated, there is the Supreme Personality who is Paramatma. The Upanishadic verse runs as follows: Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. The purport is that amongst all living entities, both conditioned and liberated, there is one supreme living personality, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who maintains them and gives them all the facility of enjoyment according to different work. That Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. A wise man who can understand him is eligible to attain perfect peace, not others. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rashimataji. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Ajnanati Mirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Charu Swaminiti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. My humble obeisances to all the devotees online today. So we'll go and see how we can discuss. So in this verse, the Supreme Lord is described in three ways. Maybe somebody can, without looking at the verse, tell me how, over the three ways it was described.
Prabhu, Brahmeti Bhagwan iti, Paramatmeti Bhagwan iti sabdate.
Yes, that of course is true. There's the three different aspects of the Lord. But in this particular verse, he uses particular terms.
All right, sorry, Prabhu.
No problem at all. So, he's described him as Uttama Purusha, the greatest living personality. Uttama means the topmost. Uttama, the best. Purusha. Purusha can be personality, or Purusha can be also enjoyer. But Uttama Purusha, Prabhupada translated it here as the greatest personality. And then he says, Paramatma, the supreme soul. He translates that as Paramatma. We normally say super soul, but here Prabhupada says the supreme soul. And Avyaya Ishvara, the imperishable. Avyaya means something that is not imperishable, something that does not decay, unchangeable. Ishvara, of course, means the Lord, the controller, the master. So in this one small verse, is the Lord has been described in three ways. And then the verse talks about he enters the three worlds. So again, can somebody tell me what he means by the three worlds?
The upper planetary system, lower planetary systems, and the earthly planet.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes. So the universe, it is explained in the Bhagavatam that initially this whole universe, of the whole material nature rather, was just one solid mass. Apparently this stem, you can see this green stem going up. This stem is coming from the navel of Garbhodaya Vishnu. And then on the top of that stem is a lotus. And on that lotus, who is seated on his lotus?
Brahma.
Lord Brahma.
Yes. So then this whole lotus stem actually is a universe. So after receiving instructions from Lord Krishna, Lord Brahma divided this first into 3, higher, middle, and lower, and then into 14, as you can see in this diagram. Bhulok, Bhuvalok, Svargalok, Maharlok, Janlok, Tapalok, and Brahmalok, or Satyalok. And then down here, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. So those 14 divisions were later, but initially it was 3. Interestingly, we have a commentary from Ramanujacharya, and he describes the 3 worlds in a slightly different way. He says, it's a world of inert matter, world of sentient beings covered by the modes of nature, and the world of liberated sentient beings. So this universe contains these 3. Universe contains dull matter. The universe contains living beings like us who are sentient, we are conscious, but we are covered by the modes of nature. And also, in the world, there are liberated people. So people can be in this world and still be liberated. Eventually, they will, of course, go back to the spiritual world. Excuse me. But being in this world, you can, if you perfect your spirituality, you will remain in this world and yet remain aloof and remain liberated. Anybody know the term for that? Somebody who's actually living in this world and still liberated?
Pure devotee?
Pure devotee, sure, yes, he's a pure devotee. But there's a particular Sanskrit description for these kind of people.
Paramhamsa?
Bhagavad, it's called Jivan Mukta.
Yes, 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 wonderful. Paraprabhu, thank you so much. Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta, I haven't got it on the slide, I'm just thinking about it right now. So it's Jivan Mukta. So as we were discussing a few weeks ago, the mukti, once somebody can get mukti and just go back, but others can still stay here trying to preach and help others. And these are called Jivan Mukta. All the other answers also correct, of course. The advanced devotee, perfect devotee, somebody in a prema bhav, whatever you can say, yes. But actual word is Jivan Mukta, which means you're still here, but you're already liberated. So then this 3, world of inert matter, world of sentient beings covered by the modes of nature, and the world of liberated beings. He then describes how the Supreme Lord in each case is different from these 3. So he says being imperishable is different from inert matter because inert matter whose nature is subject to decay. See, imperishable, so he's not the same as matter, because matter is subject to decay. Then next category is different from the sentient covered beings because they are subject to Prakriti and her laws. Krishna is not. The Lord himself is above Prakriti and her laws. And the third way, here he says, is also distinguished from the liberated sentient beings because in their previous condition, they were connected with matter. So even these Jivan Muktas, at one point they were connected, they were covered by matter. But the Lord was never covered by matter. So this way, he is different from all 3. We, the living entities, because we are tiny, we have the same quality as the Supreme Lord, but because we are very tiny and we have the qualities in a very tiny amount, so we are easily covered by the Lord, so easily covered by the 3 modes. But the Lord being Vibhu, being full of all the opulences, there's no way that the Maya or the 3 modes can cover the Lord. Then there's a beautiful book from Bhaktivinoda Thakur called Dasa Mula Tattva. And this is just a summary of the 10 points. He's actually taken 10. Dasa Mula. Mula means foundation. Right? Dasa Mula Tattva. So the foundational truth, 10 foundational truths about Vaishnava philosophy. This is very, very interesting. So it's 10. So first is Pramana. So it's made up of 1 Pramana and 9 Prameya. Pramana, everybody knows that the meaning, Pramana means proof. So the proof of these fundamental truths which will follow, which are called Prameyas, it is the proof is the teachings of the Vedas received through Guru Parampara, and that is known as Amnaya. So that is the proof behind these nine prameyas that will follow, and these are like this. Parama Tattva, and that means Sri Krishna, the highest truth is that Sri Krishna alone is a supreme absolute truth. Sri Krishna, I'll repeat that. Sri Krishna alone is a supreme absolute truth. That is the Param Tattva. Second is that he is Sarva Shaktiman. So Krishna is a possessor of all potency, all energies, all potency. Fourth, Akhila Rasamrita Sindhu. He is an ocean of nectarian mellows. Fifth, Vibhinamsa Tattva. And this is what we were just discussing. Both the Mukta, liberated, and Baddha, conditioned jivas are his eternally separated parts and parcels. See, here he is refuting the philosophy of oneness. There are a lot of people, even within India, who believe that the perfection of human life is to get liberated from Prakriti. Once you are liberated from the modes of nature, then you become one with the Lord. But here it says Vibhinamsa Tattva means that both these liberated and conditioned souls are eternally separated. Parts and parcels. Can anybody tell me what sloka? We just did the sloka in this chapter that talks about this, being eternally separated parts and parcels. 15th chapter number.
Mamaiva Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana.
Exactly. Text 7 of this particular chapter confirm this truth as well. But here, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has actually mentioned it as one of the prameyas. Then he's describing these two jivas. Baddha jivas, the conditioned souls are subject to control of covering of Maya. That's describing all of us. And Mukta jivas are liberated souls free from Maya. Truth number 8, Achintya Bhedabhed Tattva. This is the foundation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji's philosophy. The entire universe consisting of the conscious, Chit, and unconscious, Achit, is Sri Hari's Achintya Bhedabhed Prakash, his manifestation. It is inconceivably both different and non-different from him. So at the same time, so how can one truth be the same and different at the same time? But this is the beauty of this particular philosophy. Because some people say that we are the same of the Lord, so we will eventually merge with the Lord. We and the Lord, there is no difference. Only difference is we are covered. Once our cover is gone, we become the same of the Lord. That is oneness. So here we say, yes, you are partially right. We are the same as the Lord in quality. So yes, we agree with that. But then at the same time, we are different. How? In quantity, we are different. So Achintya Bhedabhed Tattva. So we are one at the same time. We are the same as the Lord in one sense, but at the same time we are different from Him. Very, very important. 9, Suddha Bhakti. So pure devotional service is the only practice, sadhana, to attain perfection. There is no other means to attain perfection. As we know, there are many, many different paths people take. There's yoga path, there's jnana path, there is so many different things that people practice. But the sure way, especially in this yuga, Kali Yuga, to achieve perfection is to practice pure devotional service. And that is perfection. Bhagavad Gita 18:55, I believe. It says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavanyas chasmi tatvata. Yato mam tatvato. I forget the second two lines. Anybody know? Level 55? Huh? Vishatet anantaram. Vishatet tat anantaram. One can only enter the supreme abode of mind by devotional service. That is the only way. That's confirmed in the 11th, 12th, this is 12th chapter, 1255, yeah. No, 1855, sorry, 1855. So, and then Krishna Priti. So this is our final goal. The transcendental love and affection for Krishna is the only one and the final object of attainment. So everything that we're doing in devotional service is to get to that point. Prema Bhakti, in different words here, Krishna Priti. Srimad Bhagavatam, again, I'm going by memory. I didn't put it down here. I hope I get it this time. First chapter, first canto, second chapter, text 6. 126. It talks about the supreme occupation of humankind. Anybody know the verse? I know it so well, but I've forgotten right now. Savai pumsa, got it. Savai pumsa paro dharmo yato bhaktir asva dokshajai ahaitukiya pati hata yayatma suprasiddhati. So he says, this is Sutta Goswami saying, the highest perfection for all humanity is that by which a person can attain to pure loving devotional service of the Lord. And that devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted for it to completely satisfy the self. So this is the perfection. So it's very nice to I'll share this slide with you to read again these 10. So 1 Praman and 9 Prameya, the Dasamula Tattva.
Prabhuji, this is Ashwin here. I'm really sorry. Can you repeat number 8 again, please?
Yeah, let me just go back. So number 8 is Achintya Bheda Bhed Tattva. So, like I was saying, there are even in Vaishnavas, there are Vaishnava sects who believe in different things. But this is the speciality of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Gaudiya Vaishnavism, that we believe that we are, some say we are different, some say we are completely different from the Lord. We are not the same. We'll never be the same. Others say that we are the same, as I was explaining. We're the same as the Lord, and the only difference is that we are covered. But here, he reconciled the two and saying, yes, in one sense, we are the same as the Lord, in the sense that the Lord is Satchit Ananda, and so is the Jiva, Satchit Ananda. So in that sense, we are the same as the Lord. But we can never be the same as the Lord because we will never have all the opulences fully as the Lord has. We can have certain percentages of his opulences. So in that sense, we can never be the same. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you, Prabhu.
So then he mentions this verse, which is mentioned, which comes up both in the Katha Upanishad and also in the Svetasvatara Upanishad. This verse, Prabhupada mentioned this part often. If you listen to Prabhupada's lectures, it's always mentioning, especially the first two lines. Nityo Nityanam Chetnas Chetnanam Eko Bahunam Yoviddhati Kaman. And the second two lines, which are not very often spoken by Prabhupada, as Tam Atmasthamiye Prapashyanti Diras Tesham Shanti Shashvati Netaresham. Prabhupada gives a translation like this. Something is missing here, I think, when I copy pasted it. So there are eternal beings, but out of all the eternal beings, there's one supreme eternal being. Yeah. So we are all eternal, but out of all of us is one supreme, as this particular verse is confirming. Nitya means singular number, Prabhupada is saying, and Nitya Nam means plural number. So the plural number, we are plural number, and Chetna means living. I'm also living, God is also living. He's also living, he's also a living being like us, Prabhupada is saying. But his distinction is like this. Eko Bahunam Yovidhati Kaman. That Eka, that singular number, Brahman, it maintains all the plural number Brahmans. Brahman means the Jiva. The soul is sometimes described as Brahman as well. So there is Supreme Brahman and there is the normal, ordinary Brahman. So we are the ordinary Brahman. So that one, so it means that one Supreme Lord maintains the entire universe and all the jivas. So the Lord is our maintainer, and this is what we went through from verses 12 to 15. We discussed in detail how the Lord is giving us a sun, the moon, the fire, how he's giving us a digesting power, how he is by the strength of the moon, rays of the moon, giving the juice of life to the vegetables. So many ways we discussed about the maintaining our Lord and our only maintainer. So this is confirming this, that the Lord is our only maintainer. We make our efforts, and that is what we do because we're conditioned. We think that if we don't do certain things, we will not be maintained. But the Lord maintains. The Lord maintains everything. The Lord maintains the tiny ant, and the Lord maintains the huge elephant. They don't have to go out and look for work or go and try and do some business. The Lord has made arrangements. If he can look after the elephants and the ants, then why not the human beings? The problem is we don't have faith. We don't have faith that he will maintain us. There's a story, there's a Birbal and Akbar story. There are quite a few of them, as you know, and I hope I can remember this properly. Let me just see. So the Birbal and Akbar, as we know, Akbar was a king, and Birbal was one of his very trusted minister. And Birbal was very, very clever, and Akbar used to always consult him for various things. One time they were traveling, they were going through a forest to go somewhere. They lost their way a little bit, and then it was nighttime. They hadn't eaten anything. They were really tired, so they both sat down under a tree. And Birbal said, "Now it's my time to chant." Birbal was Rama Bhakta, so he took out his beads and he started to chant Ram, 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 whatever mantra he was chanting. But he was chanting. Akbar interrupted him. He said, "Listen, you're chanting, but I'm really hungry. Are you not hungry?" He said, "Yeah, I'm hungry, but I will just chant. Yeah, whatever. If it's meant to be, then we will get some food." Akbar said, "We can't sit here and just wait for food. Nobody's going to come here and give us food. Let's go and find some place. There must be something nearby. Find a hut or something, somebody who's living in the jungle, give us some food." Birbal says, "No, you go. I am just chanting." So Akbar goes, and then after a little while, he found a little hut, and the people there, they recognize him as Akbar. They were very, very happy to see him, see the king. And Akbar then says, I'm hungry and I need food." So the residents of that little hut, they immediately put something together and they give him nice prasadam. He has the prasadam, then he says, "Give me some to take away," because Birbal is also in the forest and I can take some for him. So he takes some prasad from Birbal. Then he comes back to Birbal and he says, "You're just sitting here and chanting, right? And see, if you didn't go out, how would you have got this food? I've got this food for you. Without you leaving, you saying, 'Oh, the Lord will maintain you,' going Ram, 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 Ram. Where is your Lord? He didn't come to maintain you. If I didn't come back with the food, you would starve today." So Akbar said quietly, he just finished the prasadam. And then he looked at, Birbal finished his prasadam, and then he looked at Akbar. And he says, Today was the most strongest evidence I ever saw that the Lord is my maintainer. He says, the Lord not only arranged to get food for me, but he arranged the king to go and beg the food and get it for me. So this is it. So devotee sees it like that, right? Akbar was seeing it from a completely different way, and people saw it as, well, this is the Lord's arrangement. Lord made you go and bring food for me. So this is faith. So then Prabhupada puts this sentence at the end of the purport. A wise man who can understand him is eligible to attain perfect peace and not others. So this last two sentences, tamatmas stam ye nupashyanti dirasantesham santi shashvati netaresham. That is confirmed here. This is the translation actually. A wise man who can see, who can understand him, is eligible to attain peace and not others. So it's actually 8:30, and Divanam has asked me to also discuss a little bit about the Gita project. So maybe I will, okay, let's see what I've got. We'll just rush through these. I'm just talking about, because we spoke about peace, one who attains peace. So this verse came to mind. 529, Bhoktaram Yagada Pishata Pisham Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Gyatmamam Santim Richyati. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifice and austerities, the supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of living, of material miseries. And then I was thinking about the ultimate goal. We were speaking about goal just now. Our goal is to understand Krishna. And in 4.9, Krishna says, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tatpata tatva deham punar janman neti mameti shorjuna. Oh Arjuna, he says, yeah, one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving this body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. All we need to do, devotees, is to understand Krishna fully. And this is his guarantee. If we understand him, we will not come back to this miserable material world. Okay, that's it. So we all know that this challenge has been released. It's been set up now. The Live to Give campaign. So between now and the 25th of December, worldwide, we will distribute 2 million Gitas. So obviously, all the temples across the world, all the ISKCON temples are involved in this. And Divinam is leading the Virtual Project here for not just the UK, but also Europe. So he's got a target for UK and Europe, but just for the Bhaktivedanta Manor, we've got a target of 35,000 Gitas. So we all need to get on board and do this Shastra Dan. You know, this is the Purushottam month, and one of the things we're supposed to do is charity. And if you give somebody some money, he'll soon run out of money. If you give somebody some food, he'll be full for a little while, but he'll be hungry again. If you give somebody some medicines, yeah, he may be okay for a little while because of medicine, but he'll get sick again. But if you give somebody a Shastra Gyan, that will never finish. He will carry that with him life after life. And as you can see in the picture on the right, you see all these fallen souls coming through. After reading the Gita, they're coming out as pure devotees. So this is the effect of Shastra Gyan. Bhagavad Gita especially, very, very important. Very, very important. Lots of many beautiful verses glorifying the Bhagavad Gita. But there's two particular verses that I like from the Gita Govindam. Govindam prayers of Bhaja Govindam prayers of Shankaracharya, Sripad Shankaracharya. And this one, first one, he says, Bhagavad Gita kinchit adhita. Bhagavad Gita kinchit adhita. Ganga Jalalava Kanika Pita. Ganga Jalalava Kanika Pita. Sakrit api Murari Samarcha. Kriyate Tasya Yamena Nacharcha. Beautiful, beautiful verse. Bhagavad Gita kinchit adhita. Adhita means studying. Bhagavad Gita kinchit adhita is somebody has studied the Bhagavad Gita, not even whole, a little bit. Ganga Jalalava Kanika Pita. Somebody has taken a little bit of Ganga Jal. Sakridapi Murari Samarcha. If you have worshipped Murari, Krishna, even a little bit, then what happens? All those things create tasya yamena nacharcha. All that will make sure that charcha, you don't have a discussion with who? Yamena, Yama. You will not have discussion with Yamraj if you have done these things. So Bhagavad Gita is the first thing. So let the whole world get a chance to get on this level. Let them read a little bit of Bhagavad Gita so they don't have to have a discussion with Yamaraj. Right? The other beautiful verse that he, Sripad Shankaracharya speaks about is about Upanishads. So Gita, Bhagavad Gita is also sometimes called as one of the Upanishads, Gita Upanishad. So here it says, he's basically comparing the Gita to to Upanishads were cows. So Sarva-Upanishado Gao, if all the Upanishads were compared to a cow, then Dogda, Gopal and Nandana. So Dogda means the one who's milking the cow. He is Gopal Nandana. Who is Gopal Nandana? Krishna. Gopal Nandana means son of a cowherd. Cowherd is Nandaraja. So Dogda, Gopal Nandana. Partho Vatsa. Vatsa means a calf. Who is the calf?
Nandi.
No, Partho. Partho Vatsa.
Arjun.
Arjun is a Vatsa. Arjun is the calf. Sudhir Bhokta. Sudhir means intelligent people. Somebody whose intelligence is very pure. Sudhir. Sudhir. Dhira means intelligence. Su means good intelligence. We have this name Sudhir. A lot of Indian men have that name. So this is the meaning. Sudhir means somebody who's got good intelligence. Sudhir Bhokta. So that means Sudhir. So people with good intelligence are drinking this milk, right? So Vatsa is drinking. As you know, a cow gives milk, and the calf, of course, has his belly full. But then cow has extra milk for the human beings. So Partho Vatsa. So Vatsa, Partho means Arjuna is having it, but also Sudhir, but anybody else who has got good intelligence is also having that. And what is that milk? Dugdam Gita Mita Mahat. That means that milk is compared, Dugda means milk, compared to Gita Amrita. It's the nectar from Bhagavad Gita, and it's the best Mahat. So these are two beautiful verses glorifying Bhagavad Gita. So when we are distributing the Bhagavad Gita, when we are sponsoring the Bhagavad Gitas, you can think about it, how invaluable this gift is of the Bhagavad Gita. So let's keep that in mind, and let's all get on board, support this. On this leaflet that I will share with you, there is also the link there, www.krishnatemple.com/Shastradan. Once you go on there, you get the information. What I've done here is I've just pasted, one second, let me move that. I've pasted just one top part of that leaflet. It says Shastradan. Somebody can read this maybe. Who's that? Bhagavati Mataji, you're there. Can you read it? Or Krishnagi Mataji, you're both on my screen.
Okay. Bhagavati Mataji, go ahead. Bhagavati Mataji, are you reading?
Shall I read?
Yeah, go.
Shastradan. Our founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami said that a devotee of the Lord tries to distribute knowledge of Krishna everywhere, and as the world's greatest philanthropist, he is always concerned about the welfare of the fallen, conditioned souls. He knows that the cause of suffering is forgetfulness of one's relationship with Krishna, and so he works tirelessly to broadcast the importance of becoming Krishna consciousness. The next few months are a great time to perform this charity by distributing Krishna consciousness all over the world. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Bhagavati Mataji. You see, this is the best charity we can do, and although we will focus a little bit on the remainder of the Purushottam month, but the campaign it will run till the 25th of December, which is the day of Gita Jayanti. So we can carry on distributing the Bhagavad Gita up to the day of Gita Jayanti. Also, there's a slight difference in what Divanam Prabhu announced. As you know, he announced the 15 books at 65 pounds. And then there was an issue about, they discovered that a lot of people would want those books delivered to their homes. So then, rather than have two prices and then have to chase people up for the extra 10 pounds for delivery and all that, what they've done is they average everything out. So now the books are 15 books will be 71, and then so on and so forth. And that 71 pounds includes delivery as well. So whereas before it was 65 plus 10 pounds, would be 75, now it's 71 for delivery. So it works out both ways. So The same price, just one single price for the 15 books, whether you want to sponsor or you want to have it delivered. So these are the details. So please, devotees, as I said, let's get on board. Let's try and do this wonderful service for Srila Prabhupada, and also do wonderful service for the receivers of this wonderful Bhagavad Gita. So I will stop here. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much for giving me the chance to speak and purify myself. We have a few minutes here. We can just 2-3 minutes take a last question or something.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Rupa Mataji.
If I want to donate a box, what do I do? Like if I
Yes.
buy the book, but I can't distribute, but you can, in schools or whatever. If it's
Exactly. So what you do on that form, on that link, when you go there, there's after these prices, you can tick one of the boxes which how many you want to sponsor, and then below there's a space where you can specify that you want to sponsor them, and you can put your notes there.
Oh, okay. All right. So I don't want it to be delivered at my house,
That's
but
fine. You can mention
I
that.
want to donate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
There
Okay.
is a
All
Hare
right.
Krishna.
Okay,
There
thank
is a
you.
comment box where you can say where you want the delivery.
Okay.
Sorry.
But no, I'm talking about schools, so I don't know which
So
schools.
in the comment box, Rupa Mataji, in the comment box, other people will put down their addresses for them to receive them. You can just put down, please donate to schools or prisons or hospital, whatever you want to say.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. We know already, I know even before the campaign started, from our group, Krishnagi Mataji already has sponsored. I know Hemlata Mataji from Leicester has already, she was asking me, she was already chasing me like 2 days ago for the links. So she's got the link now, so she's already sponsoring. So yes, thank you so much. There's so many of you wonderful people who have already started doing this service. So let's keep that momentum up. I'm just seeing there's anything on the chat. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Divinand Prabhu said that we distribute these books without, knocking doors.
Yes.
And go to people's house. So how could we do that? Would you please?
I know. So of course, yes, because of COVID, especially because the numbers are really going up again, we need to be very, very careful about going out on the streets or even knocking doors. So it would happen in terms of just like we did the Bhagavatam for the Bhadra campaign. So we will have to we call our contacts, and we will then arrange. You can, the two of you, arrange how you exchange. You can once rather than knocking all the doors, you can just go and deliver from the outside, stay outside, deliver the book on a nice something. Not can't leave a book especially on the floor, right? But you can take a little table or stool with you, put the book there outside their door, let them open the door, take the book, and then put the Lakshmi on the table. You can then take that. So this is how the reason I learned this is because when devotees were distributing some prasadam recently, they came from the manor and they came in a little plastic stool and they put the stool outside my door and they put the prasadam on there and they would move back and then I took it off like that. So yes, so this is some things we can do like this, but yeah, we cannot go door to door like we did every year.
Yeah.
Just to divide by phone calls, by contacts and phone calls.
Libraries are denying to take any at the moment, sir. And we were just asking if they wanted a set of anything, and they said, no, we won't let you come in either. So that's how far they are going.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
Yeah.
libraries are out of question. Some of the schools have said no. Hospital has said no to us in our area, in South London area.
Yeah.
Because I asked, we give them every year or every 5 years probably to put it in all the wards. But this year they said no to us.
Yeah, so I think because of this COVID.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are going to have a little bit of a problem in South London. But this is what we are trying to do now. But I did speak to somebody today And they agreed, and I said, you don't have to put it in the walls, but if anybody wants it, put it on your table or somewhere, and we will have a box that is not opened.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they have agreed on that. So I'm just trying to work with our council. But our library has said, definitely has said no.
Okay. Yeah. So we could keep trying. Maybe some areas they will accept.
Yes, yes, probably.
We'll keep trying. But yeah, I'm sure Krishna will, we make the effort. Krishna will make the arrangements. Greta, you were saying something?
Oh, maybe there's an electronic way of distributing to people who might want to read but can't in hospitals, for example. If they have a device that they can use, we could send them a PDF version of it.
Yeah.
Way, isn't it?
Yes, I mean the Bhagavad Gita is available on Vedabase, and if they have internet, they will be able to.
But they don't know about it. That's the only thing, isn't it? So it's just
exactly.
letting them know about it.
Yes, yes. So we could do that as well. Yes, exactly. You can just let as many people as possible read this, whether online or the book itself, whichever possible way. Thank you for the ideas.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I suppose there is nothing stopping people from sponsoring the books, but we can place them in January. They don't have to be placed immediately, and sponsorships can still come in, and then we will look for opportunities in January. It's just a temporary thing that people are not accepting the books. So.
That's a good point as well. Yes, that's a good point, because the manor can hold the stocks, and
Yes.
at least we'll have them books to give out throughout the year then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good point. Thank you, Emma.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I would like to do that. Sponsor someone now and distribute it after January, please.
Perfect, Vaishnav Mataji. So you can there's a link on that form that I will share today, and you can just get on the site, fill up the form, and then put in the details whether you want the box to come to you to deliver or whether you want them to deliver. Like that.
Yeah, because there are few devotees who would like to sponsor it at the moment, because they said they don't want to keep it in their house, you see.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
So we can do something like that rather than, so we get all the sponsors, whatever amount they want to sponsor.
Perfect,
Yeah?
yes.
Okay, but where we can store it in the warehouse, we can keep it in the warehouse, is it?
Divinam obviously has got those arrangements in there.
There's a lot of storage space.
I'm not sure about a lot of space. Has he a lot of space? Normally, this one always we're struggling with space, but yeah, Emma Mataji probably knows more than me on that.
Okay, that would be fine then. Okay, we can get sponsors then, Prabhuji.
Yes, thank you also. I thank you very much. And thank you, Hemlata Mataji. Hemlata Mataji also put a message there, says she wants to take the books to distribute to her friends in Leicester. So that's fantastic. Great. Any questions on today's verse? Anybody? Any doubts to clarify? Any realizations?
Prabhuji, are these Bhagavad Gita's pocket size, or are they the full size?
They are in the middle size. Because the original Bhagavad Gita is sort of quite big. So I'll just show you my book 1 second. Yeah. But this is the old size, right? Which is let's say which is like yeah. But the ones we are distributing now are a little bit smaller. They're not completely pocket size, but they're a little bit smaller than this. They're more easy to manage actually, in terms of holding and reading. It's a brown cover one. Most of you must have seen the brown cover ones.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Well, yeah, that's also the big one actually. Bhagavati Mataji, what you're holding on is also the big one. That's the one we are doing now is the smaller ones, the light brown ones. You're muted.
Like the white pocket one?
The white pocket one, that's too small.
Oh, I see. Okay. So this is different now then.
Yeah.
I see.
Okay. All right. devotees, once again, thank you so much. Please be careful, look after yourselves.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Everybody, thank you so much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. All
Jai.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna,
yes,
please
excellent.
read the book.